Hey guys, welcome to Pepcoding. In today's lecture, we are going to solve this problem. Longest substring with at most two distinct characters. Okay, so the question is clear from the statement itself, right? So let's read the question. Given a string s, return the length of the longest substring that contains at most two distinct characters. Okay, so let's talk about this question. We have done this kind of question a lot, right? So what we have to do here is we have to return the longest substring length which is having at most two distinct characters. Okay, so let's talk about, let's say this is my substring. One of the substring is this also, e and f, and in this only two distinct characters are there. Okay, see, and you can also see this substring e f e, right? This is also having at most two distinct characters, not more than two, right? Fine. Now let's talk about this one, B A A B. This is also having two distinct characters, not more than two. This substring also having two distinct characters, not more than two. Let's talk about another one. Let's say this, B A A E. But now this substring is having three distinct characters. You can see B and this A and E. B A E. So there are three distinct characters, but we need what? We need at most two distinct characters, not more than two. Okay, so we have to return the longest substring which is having at most two distinct characters. Okay, so how we are going to do this question? We have done a lot of question like this, right? So we will be doing the same thing. Firstly, we will be having a frequency map, right? Let's say this is my frequency map, and I'll be I will be initializing length from 0, right? And I'll be updating my length if I get bigger substring than this, right? So we'll be having the same strategy. What? Acquire and release. I'll be having two pointers, I and j. Fine. So what I'll be doing here, firstly, when I have to do the very first thing. What I have to do, firstly, I have to, I have to iterate to in this whole string, right? So for the very first work is what I have to acquire. If my string is invalid, then I have to release the characters, right? Yeah, so these two things only we have to do. Okay, see, now we are going to acquire. My j is at -1 and my I is also at -1. Okay, so initially I'm going to increment my I. Now I am having e. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my frequency map, right? So e is 1 right now. Fine. Yep. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to calculate my length also. My substring is valid right now. I got this substring e, right? And in this substring I can see there is only one character, right? Only one character, and that is fine. That's no big deal no big deal in this, right? So I'm having a substring e initially, and I'm going to update my length. My length is what? I'm at index what? 0. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, so I'm going to update my, and this is -1, right? So 0 minus of -1, and my length formula is what you all know, that is I minus j, right? You can see 0 minus -1, that is 1. So my substring length is 1 here. Okay, so I'm going to update my length. I'm going to update my length only when I get a bigger substring, a bigger length than the previous one. Fine. Yeah, so right now my map is valid. My map will be invalid when I will be having more than two characters in this map. Fine. Yeah, so the second thing what we have to do, we have to acquire till this map is invalid, right? So now I'll be having f. Okay, I'll be having this f. Fine. So now also I am having a substring that is ef, and its length is what? I minus j. I is 1 and j is right now -1. So 1 minus of -1, that is 2. So I'll be having another substring that is ef, and this is bigger than the previous one, so I have to update my length. Fine. So the next thing what I have to do, I have to acquire. My frequency map is not my frequency map is valid right now. Okay, so I'm going to update my e. That means I'm going to update my frequency of e, that will be equal to 2. Now also this is valid. Okay, I'm having a substring which is having efe, right? That means which is having efe, and which is having which is this substring is having at most two distinct characters, that are e and f. Okay, so I'm going to update my length to what? 3. You can see 2 minus of -1, that is what? I minus j is what? 2 minus of -1, which is equals to 3. Fine, I have updated this. Now I have to acquire. Now I will be having b here. But now my frequency map is invalid. I am having what? I am having here three distinct characters in this substring. Okay, so I am going to release my characters now. Okay, I have to release. I am not going to update my length because now I am at invalid point. Fine. So the next thing we have to do is we have to release. Now I'm going to release. So I'm going to release. So my E was 2. Okay, now I'll be having what? My E will be equals to 1 now. Now again my map is invalid. Okay, now if I'm going to update my length, I can't update my length. Why? Because I'm having three distinct characters in my substring. Fine, so I have to release, right? Release this in. Fine, so now my f was 1, so I'm going to remove my f, right? So but now it's fine. Now my frequency map is valid. Why? Because it's having only two characters, at most two distinct characters, right? So I'm having this substring EB, but yeah, previous length was 3, so there's no need to update length because it's 2. So the previous one was big, so I'm not going to update it. Fine. Yep. So the next thing what we have to do is, now we are valid, we are at valid point, right? So I am going to acquire more. So I get here what? I'm getting here A. So A is 1. Now I am at invalid point. I can't update my length. Fine. So I have to release it. Fine. So now I'll be removing what? E. Fine. So here I have removed E. Now my frequency map is valid, but its length, let's talk about its length. 4 minus of 2, that is 2. Its length is 2, that is correct. But I can't update it because previous length was what? Previous was 3. Now it's having 2. So I am not going to update because it was a smaller one. Fine. Yes. So I have to acquire more. I am going to acquire. Now A is frequency is 2, and let's see its length. Its length is 3. Previous one was 3, so they are equal. No need to update. Fine. Yes, I have to what? Acquire more. So now my B's frequency is 2. My map is valid right now. Okay, I am having only two distinct characters, right? Now I'm going to check its length. I minus it, that is 6 minus of 2, that is 4. Now I'm having 4 length. Okay, so now I'm going to update it. Why? Because I am having bigger length than the previous one. In the previous length there was 3, now it's 4. Okay, so I'm going to update it. Okay, so my substring is what? B. We don't have to return this substring or something, we just have to return the count, we just have to return the maximum length. Okay, I'm just telling you that these were the substring when we updated our length. Okay, so now it's B. Now my length is 4, right? So I'm just going to write here 4. Fine. Yep. Now my length is 4 right now. Okay, and I am just going to erase this also. 2. Fine. Yep, this was 2 and this was also 2. Fine. So now I'm going to acquire more because my map is valid right now. Okay, so now I'm at A, so now my A's frequency will be 3. Now again this is valid because I'm having what? Two distinct characters, not more than 2, right? So I'm going to find my length, that is 7 minus 2, that is 5. So I have to update this, right? I have updated this, and my next updated substring was what? BA. Okay, now my frequency map is valid, so I'm going to acquire more. Okay, so now I'll be having what? A. So here I am having this 4. A is 4 right now. Okay, let's 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I have acquired one more A, and I am going to check 8 minus 2, that is 6. See, I am having a substring that is having length 6, so I'm going to update this 6, and my map is valid. Okay, B A and A. This substring is having only at most two distinct characters. It's this substring. Okay, so till now my answer is 6. Okay, my length is 6 till now. Fine. Yes, so my frequency map is also valid because it's having only two distinct characters, right? So I'll be going to acquire more now. Okay, I'm going to acquire more. Yes, I'm going to acquire more. So now I'll be having one E, and its frequency is 1 right now. Okay, but now my frequency map is invalid, so I have to do this same thing. What we have to do? We have to release. We have to release it. Okay, so now we are going to delete element. So I'm at B. My B's frequency was 2. Now it's 1. So now it's invalid again. Okay, now I'm going at A. A's frequency is 3. So it's invalid right now, so I'm going to release till it's invalid. Fine. Now it will be equal to what? It will be equal to 2. Wait, Okay, age frequency is what? Age frequency is 2 right now, right? Yep, now I'm going to remove this b, right? Because b's frequency was 1, so I'm just going to erase it. Now we are at a valid point. Now I'm going to check its length is 3, right? 9 minus 6, that is 3. But I won't be changing my length because previous length was more than the current length, right? So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to acquire more, so I'll be having my d. But now it's invalid, so I have to do what? I have to remove. That means we have to use the strategy of release, right? So I'm going to release this. I'm going to release my a. My age frequency will be getting decreasing. Now again my map is invalid. I'm going to again decrease a, but now its value was 1, so I'm going just to erase it, right? I have erased it. Okay, now my map is valid and I'm going to check its length, but its length is 2, so I can't do anything right now. Okay, I have to, when we are going to release, the length will not be updated because because length is getting decreased, right? So we just have to do this. Okay, so now I am at e. Okay, so I have released e, so my length will be equal to 1. That is not, there's no big problem. Now I'll be at here. So now my answer is 6. We just have to return this 6, right? So let's code this and let's see if then you will be getting a better picture of this question, right? So let's come and let's code it out. It's very easy question. Okay, so let's try to code this. Okay, yeah. So initially what we have to do here, we have string s. Okay, fine, let's make it str. Fine. So initially what we are going to do, we are going to create a hash map of key what, of key character and value integer. We are going to make a frequency map, right? Yes. So here we are declaring map, name it as map, and new hash hash map of this. Fine. Yeah, so initially what we have to do, I'm going to initialize a length with 0 and I as -1 and j is also as what, -1. Yes, it's correct. So I have initialized length and 2 pointers, right? So I have to do what? I'm going to run a while loop till I want it. Okay, I'm going to have some condition inside it, then only then I'll be breaking this while loop. Fine. So the very first thing is what we have to do, what we have to acquire, right? The very first strategy. Fine. Yes, so while I'm going to do what, I is less than my str dot length of -1, right? Yes, so what we have to do here is, first of all, I'm having what, my character here. So the very first thing what we have to do is we have to increment ri, and I'm having my character, that is str dot caret. Caret what? Caret I, right? I'm having my character now. Now I'm going to check whether if whether this is present or not. If it's present, let's say if my map dot contains key of what, ch equals to true, it means it's having my character. Then I have to do what? So map dot put ch, map dot get ch plus 1, right? Yes, so we have done this thing. Else if nothing is present here, let's say wait, fine, wait guys, fine. Yes, else what we have to do, we just have to put map dot put what, ch and 1, right? Yes. So now I'm going to check if my map dot size is less than equal to 2. Then what we are going to do here is, my map dot size is less than equal to 2, then we have to do what, we just have to update our length, right? Mat dot max of what, my length, and my I minus j, whatever my length is, and we just have to do nothing right here. Okay, else if my map size is greater than 2, then what we have to do here is we just have to break from here. We can't acquire more, right? uh, right, fine. The very next thing what we have to do is we have to release, right? Okay, we have acquired some. Now we have to write the code for release. Okay, so while my j is less than I, okay, what we are going to do, firstly I am going to increment my j, and I'll be having my character as str dot caret what, caret j, right? So now if my map dot get of Hmm. If its frequency is one, then we what we have to do, we just have to remove it. Okay, so map dot remove whatever my key is. Yes, whatever my key is, right? Else what we have to do, we have to update it, right? So I'm just going to have this, just going to copy it, and just we just have to do what, we just have to decrement its frequency, right? So now I'm going to copy these things. Why? Because these are the same thing that we have to do. If my map size is, yes, okay, hmm uh wait, I'm having some problem here, right? So okay, it's fine. hmm this will be going here, right? So if my map dot size is less than equal to 2, then I'm going to update my length and I'm going to break from here, right? Else if my map size is greater than 2, then what we have to do, we just have to continue. Why? Because we want to delete more characters, we want to release more characters to get my map size in range. Fine, we have to decrement our map size till it's not equal to 2. Fine, yes. So now what we have to do here is, yes, our work is complete in release also. So at last what we have to do, we just have to return what, we just have to return our length. Okay, okay. So when we are going to break this main while loop, okay, see, I'm going to create here two boolean flags. Yes, I'm going to initialize them with false initial. Okay, I'm going to have these two boolean flags, f1 and f2, right? Flag 1 and flag 2. Okay, so when I'm entering in this condition, then I'll be having this true, and when I'm entering in this condition, then I'll be having true true what, flag 2. Okay, so when I'm going to break it, see, if my flag 1 is equal to false, and my flag 2 is also equal to false, that means what, we are not entered in the either in any of this while loop, right? So if we are done with our work, right, I'm not entering in this while loop, I'm not entering in this while loop as well, so I am just going to break from this main loop. Fine, and I have returned my length, right? So now let's try to run this and see if our code is getting accepted or not. Okay, we are having some error. Where? 66th line. Sorry, I don't know from where this bracket came. Let's run this again. Okay, let's see if we are getting some errors. Then we have to resolve them, right? Yes, here answer is getting accepted. Let's try to submit this. Fine. So you have to try run this problem. Okay, we'll be going to do try run, right? Let's firstly do what, we just, let's say, let's copy this test case, right? And its answer was 6, right? So let's put this input. It's the same input, I think. Yes, that was same. So our answer was what, our answer was 6, right? uh, yes, let's try to run this problem and see if our answer is coming as 6. Yes, it's getting 6. Okay, we have submitted and we our answer was correct, right? So let's do a dry run with this code. It is E C E B A. Fine. Yes. So what we are having here, we are having a frequency map, right? Frequency map, and my length initially was what? My length was 0 initially, right? So my I is here, -1 0 1 2 3 4, fine. And my j was here, this is my I, this is my j. Okay, this is my frequency map, right? So at start, what we are going to do here is we are going to acquire, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to enter in this condition, fine. And I'm going to increment my I. Now my I will be at 0, and I'm going to enter this else condition. Why? Because nothing is there in frequency map, right? So I'm going to have 1 in my frequency map. Now if my map size is less than equal to that is 2, then I'm going to update my length. My length is what? 0 minus 1, that is 1. So I'm going to update my length to 1. You can see my substring, right? Yes. Okay, so now after this while loop will run again. I'm going to enter I is incremented, and I'm going to enter this else, right? So I'm going to put c as 1, and I'm going to update my length. My length is my dot max of length of I minus j. Initially, previously my length was 1, so now my length is 1 minus 1 minus 1, that is 2. So now I'm going to update this. Okay, so now I have updated this to fine. So now what we are going to do is we are going to again enter this while loop and going to acquire more. So I'll be having this 2y. Now I am going to enter this if. Now my e was there initially, so I am going to just increment this. Okay, so I have incremented, and now I am going to enter this if again, because my map size is less than equal to 2. Then I am going to have my length, that is 2 minus of minus 1, that will be equal to 3. So my length is 3 right now. Okay, now I'm going to acquire more, and I'll be having my b here, but now I'll be entering where? Now my map size is greater than 2, right? So I'll be entering this else condition, and I'll be breaking my while loop. Fine, here I have get a break from this while loop. Okay, so now I'll be getting I'll be entering in this while loop. Why? Because j is less than I, that is true. Okay, so now I'm going to release it. Okay, so I'm going to increment my j. I have incremented. Now I'm going to if my character is equal to 1, that means if e is equal to 1, now e is equal to 2. Else what we have to do, we just have to decrement it. Okay, so I'm going to decrement it as what? 1. Fine. So again my map size is greater, is not less than equal to 2, right? So we have to enter this else condition, and we have to continue. Okay, so we are going to continue, we're going to release more. So j plus plus, and I have incremented it. Okay, so now I'll be entering where? I'll be entering here, because my c's frequency is 1, so I have to do what? I just have to remove this c. Fine, I have removed this c. Now you can see my map size is less than equal to 2. Then now I'm going to update my length. Okay, so my length is what right now? You can see my length is 2, so I can't update because previously length was 3. Okay, so it won't be updated, right? Fine, it is getting updated by the previous length only. Fine, yes. Now what we are going to do, we are here here we are having a break also. Fine, so we will be breaking from this while loop also, right? So what we are going to do here is we are going to enter this while loop again, and we are going to acquire more. So yeah, I just let me tell you one thing. We were at 3. Okay, we have to not enter this while loop when I is less than string dot length -1. That means when my I is less than 4. Okay, but my I was 3 here, right? So after entering in this, we are incrementing our I. Okay, we have entered, and I have incremented my I. Okay, now my I is here. Now I can't enter in this while loop. Fine, fine. So now what we are going to do, we are having it A. Now I'm going to put this A, right? So now I won't be entering this if condition. I'm going to enter this else. That will be, I'm going to break from this condition. Now I'm not going to enter this while loop. Fine. So now I'll be going to release some characters, right? So I'm going to increment my j, and I'll be having e, and if my character equal to 1, that means yes, my frequency is 1. Then I have to remove this. Fine, I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to enter this condition that my map size less than equal to 2. That is true, but I am not going to update my length. Why? Because previous length was 3 and my current length is 2, so there's no big deal. So I have to break also. When I'm going to break, this condition will also run. Okay, this condition will run again, because my f1 is false, right? No, my f1 was also true, and my f2 is also true. But now I won't be entering in my upper while loop. Why? Because my this condition is not satisfying right now. Okay, but I'll be entering in this condition. Why? because j is less than I right now. Okay, so now I'm going to release more, so I'm going to release more. I have released this b. Now my size is what, when we are releasing now, we are not going to update our size. Why? Because you know, when we are releasing, our length will be getting shorted, so they, no big deal to do this, fine. So we'll be running this while loop, okay, when my j, till my j is here. Okay, after my j is here, we'll be running again, but now I'm not entering in this while loop. My initial flags were false, right? So now I'm not entering in this while loop. Also, I'm not entering in this while loop, fine. So now my f1 is also false. Now my f2 is also false. Previously my f1, either my f1 was true or my f2 was true. Okay, that's why we were not getting broke. Okay, so now my f1 is also false, and my f2 is also my f2 is also false. Okay, now we have to break from here, right? So when we are going to break, after this we are terminated from the main while loop, and we are going to return our length here. So my length was 3, and you can see from here, and you can see that our answer is, wait, our answer was 3, right? You can see our sample output is 3. Okay, so I hope that you understood this question. This was nice question, right? But we have done this kind of question a lot of times, right? If you are having any doubt, please watch this video again, and if you like the video, please hit the like button, and also please try to do dry run by yourself. Okay, if you are doing dry run, that's the main thing in coding is dry run. You have to dry run, then and only then you will be getting a very nice insight of the of every question. Okay, you have to do the small dry run, or the dry run is very big, you have to do it, fine. Then you will be having a strong hand in coding, right? Okay, so I hope that you understood this question. If you like the question, please, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and please share and subscribe our channel. Okay guys, so we'll meet in the next video. Bye bye, take care, see ya.